Hey guys, Derry here from DrakeWingGaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with another episode of Echo. Without further ado, let's jump right back into it, shall we? I'll go ahead and start my little timer here. Load game. Here we go. Okay, let me get into character here. Alright. Think you could get a pic of us? It would be nice for all of us to have something that isn't camera phone quality. Oh, sure. I was messing with the self-timer earlier. Ooh, excuse me. Should be able to get it to work. After a few minutes of me adjusting the tripod and Leo adjusting everyone at the end of one of the beds, we managed to get into position. Alright, here goes! I set the timer and fast walked to the spot Leo saved for me. Aww, such a cute picture! For the next 2 hours, we watch a movie on TV, not really paying attention, mostly catching up with each other on how we'd been. It's good to be back, and it feels like we're all just picking up where we left off 3 years ago. Here goes. Okay. It's really nice. Finally, at about 10, Leo, Carl, and Flynn head out. I spend the next 20 minutes tinkering with the equipment, making sure it's all in order for shooting the next day. Once TJ finishes getting ready for bed in the bathroom, I do as well before getting into bed, head to toe with TJ. There's a soft glow from the corner as Jenna sits at the table reading something. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for her to go to sleep. Oh, that's pretty. There's a chain attached to my ankle as I walk away from the lake. My legs and feet caked in mud. I look back, seeing the chain snaking back around the rocks and reeds before disappearing into the water. Looking ahead again, I see Leo. He's smiling, waving at me. I walk towards him and the chain stays slack, pulling easily out of the water. There's an anchor in the lake, I say. I stare at him, but he doesn't say anything and just keeps on smiling. I crouch on the rocks, wrapping the chain around my wrist a few times. Leo kneels next to me, rubbing my back and sticking out his arm to compare our bracelets, saying that everyone gets one. He seems happy, but now I'm stuck here. I can't even stand up to walk. What the hell? Sunday, 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 Sunday. Oh, that's pretty. Peyton is a bit of a distance away. To get there, you have to get on Route 93, which Flynn tells me isn't even called that anymore. That would make sense considering how it was impossible to find on the GPS. Anyway, to get to the city, you have to merge from the remnants of 93 onto I-40, which runs straight through the city of Peyton. About 15 minutes from Peyton, we pull over at a rest stop which sits at a higher elevation than Echo. If you're looking in the right direction, it gives you a great view of the town. I stand outside the old rundown restroom. I paw over my eyes as I stare out over the desert. God, I love this sound effect. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. The sound of wind just gently blowing, like through a crevasse or something. Oof, gives me chills. A distant, hazy view of a group of small buildings huddled together signals where the town is. From this vicarious distance, it looks small and harmless. Hard to imagine all the things that happened there. Ooh. Alright, how do I use this thing? I look over and see Leo fumbling with the camera, obviously worried that he was going to break it. I walk over and show him how to use it, checking the white balance and exposure myself. I wasn't too good with cameras, but the equipment manager at the university had given me a quick lesson on how to do things. Alright, so I want you to zoom out from Echo, slowly. And while you do that, I'm going to walk in frame, okay? Yeah, okay. Leo hoists the camera up and looks through the viewfinder, ears perked up and smiling. Alright, signal me when you're ready. I adjust the clip-on mic while Leo focuses the camera, then raises his paw, signaling that I should start. I walk into the frame, keeping one paw in my pocket and using the other to gesture. I hope I don't look too awkward. I always feel like I do. Oh, wow. Echo first began as a settlement in 1852 after James Hendricks discovered gold in a quartz deposit. I'm going to go ahead and save it. God, I love This game's ticking all the right boxes for me. I love the zoomed out look of old towns and tiny little towns and such. Man. The town grew quickly in size, and once it began to serve as a junction along Prescott Railway, it reached a peak population of 6,500 in 1877. It was at this point in time that a peculiar phenomenon of mass hysteria took over. Many say the reason this occurred was due to the discovery of a body within the gold mine and the circumstances surrounding that discovery. While not much is known about this event, what is known is that once it ended, a large portion of the population left Echo. Most of those who left settled in the nearby town of Peyton. However, the town still managed to prosper well enough until the 40s. That's when the government stepped in to shut down the mine, as it became a federal law to divert all mining resources to the war effort. The town's population sharply declined shortly thereafter, and, by the 1950s, it had dwindled to approximately 2,000 people. A shutdown of the Prescott Railway in the 1960s, followed by the bypassing of Route 93 by I-40 in 1986, was the final nail in the coffin for the town. By the 90s, the population had dwindled to just 150 people. My goal, however, is to investigate the first event which led to this town's decline, and possible demise. What happened in that mine almost 150 years ago. I've come to Echo to try and find out what information, if any, can be gleaned from the events of the past. I wait for a few seconds and look at Leo. That's good? Yeah. Don't know how to stop this, though. Here. Oh, excuse me, guys. I walk over to take the heavy camera off Leo's paws. Yeah, that was pretty good. You want to be a reporter? Maybe. I'd rather just write than be on a camera, though. Yo, Chase! Leo and I look up towards the car, greeted by the sight of a bright white ram's ass hanging out the back window of Leo's van. I don't really react. I mean, despite being self-conscious about his weight, Carl was pretty shameless about stuff like this. I'd probably seen his naked butt more often than I'd seen Leo's, and that was saying something. Make sure you get a good shot of... Hey! At that moment, Flynn, who was sitting next to Carl in the back, reaches around and yanks the ram's pants down so that they hang around his knees. Even though Carl's pretty quick to pull them back up, I still get a pretty good view of his equally white balls dangling between his legs. Leo snorts, and I can see Flynn laughing his ass off while Carl punches him in the shoulder. Unfortunately for TJ, who was sitting in the middle row with Jenna, he was looking back at the time and probably got a much better view than I did. Now he's facing forward, covering his face, while Jenna sits next to him reading a book, looking uninterested. Nearly 21 and still doing that, huh? Yeah, it's a little more awkward without you three around, though. We head back to the car, and I grab the camera bag from the passenger seat to put the camera away. Hey, did you see my ass? Saw more than that. Yeah, your thing's about the horrors of Echo, right? It'll be a perfect fit. Well, if you could even fit it on the camera. I stashed the camera bag in the footwell before hopping in. Southwest Adventures is an amusement park right in the middle of Peyton. It's decent enough that people come not just to Peyton. It's decent enough that people come not just from Peyton, but cities up to 100 miles away to vacation here. Because of this, it's usually crowded, and today is no exception. Families and their kids are everywhere. It's a generally nice day, sunny, in the 80s, and it being on a Sunday added to the crowd. I didn't mind, though. The point of this is to hang out with my friends. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving. Let's get some funnel cakes. Jesus, Carl, we just got here. Hey, I didn't have any breakfast. You had breakfast, all right. A blunt with a side of the munchies. It's no problem. You can do that while I plan out what we're doing. Carl ambles off on his way to the funnel cake stand. Oh, God, why am I yawning so much? I snagged one of the park maps from the entrance, and I handed that to Leo. Alright, so usually when my family comes here, we go clockwise to hit all the rides. That sounds like a plan. It's pretty crowded today, so we probably won't be able to do everything. But in this order, we'll at least be able to ride Event Horizon. You sure the line is always so long for that ride? TJ's looking up towards the tall, spiraling electric red steel roller coaster. It's definitely the most recognizable landmark in the park. You could see from almost anywhere in Peyton. Yep, fastest and tallest roller coaster in the West. I think it'll be worth it. Uh-oh. TJ rubs his arm with one paw, the corner of his muzzle twitching a little bit. I had forgotten about that. He used to have a pretty pronounced motor tic where the corner of his mouth would twitch up over and over again. It used to be a constant thing, but it stopped once we entered middle school. Guess it hadn't completely gone away. You alright, TJ? We could skip the big rides if you... Oh, hell, TJ, you're a fucking adult now. No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. TJ snaps his head back towards us. He's all tensed up and the movement looks like a rubber band being snapped. I'm riding all the rides with you guys. TJ walks off, his paws shoved deep in his pockets. I feel bad for him, and I want to give him an out somehow. But that's when Carl comes back with his funnel cake. It's topped with ice cream, powdered sugar, and strawberries. Anyone want to share? Yeah, that looks really good. Nope. Alright, I guess I'll have to eat the whole thing. Great, now we gotta wait for Fat Ass to finish eating. Carl pulls his face out of the cake. Even with his white fur, I can see the powdered sugar clinging into his chin. Nah, I can eat in the line. We going on Event Horizon first. The wait'll be an hour long, at least. The line ends up being 2 hours long, and by the time we get to the actual ride, I'm dying to get into a pool of any kind. To put it bluntly, an otter needs water. Ugh, God, keep yawning. Part of the problem of living in Echo meant that we didn't have any kind of indoor pool system in our house, being as cheap as it was. We ended up having to get an outdoor swimming pool, which was a pain. Heh, nervous, Chase? I smirk at him. I've ridden it before, Leo. Though your tail's kind of down, sure you're not nervous? Eh? Come on, Leo, let's ride the front. Oh, I don't know. I watch as Jenna pulls Leo towards the line for the front, which is twice as long as all the others. I opt for the middle, and it just so happens that TJ comes with me. His tufted ears had been poking straight up the entire time, his muzzle giving an occasional twitch. I lean over to him, and that is where I am going to end the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We will find out what happens in the next episode of Echo. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell until the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!